are doing good. It's been a while. Yes, I am back. I'm back to making you guys videos. So if you guys like this type of videos that you're about to watch today, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like my videos. Make sure you share my videos because I am going to be giving you guys the good stuff. Like I'm going to be showing you guys real things. Like guys, like you're learning real hands-on right now. So if you really like this type of content, don't hesitate to, leave me a comment, like this video, and also share. The video I'm about to do today, I already have this video out there. However, I want to make sure that I really show you guys how to facilitate a sprint planning meeting using Jira. So the video I have already in facilitating sprint planning, I really was just talking, right? But today I want to be really hands-on. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to facilitate a sprint planning in Jira to really help you. So if you have to, facilitate this meeting, you just got a job, you're struggling, I want to help you, guide you to make sure that you're able to succeed and able to maintain your job. So keep watching this video to the end so you can see how I facilitate a sprint planning meeting using Jira. So sprint planning again is one of the Scrum event, right? It happens on the very first day of your sprint. So let's assume that today is our sprint planning day. Our sprint just ended. We're about to start our next sprint. There's a meeting that actually needs to happen before your planning to better prepare you guys for your sprint planning, which is the backlog refinement. Okay, the backlog grooming meeting should have already happened, right? Let's say today's planning, so we should have had this meeting maybe a few weeks ago or even a week ago. So, but just make sure that the meeting already, it takes place before your planning meeting to better prepare for you guys planning. So you already did your refinement. Now you want to plan for your upcoming spring that's starting today. The first thing I normally do in my planning meeting is I make sure that I go over our team capacity. Capacity pretty much just to know which of my team members are going to be present during that sprint. So let's say if you're doing a 2 week sprint, right? I want to ask all my team members who's going to be here for the next 2 weeks. Are you here 100%? Do you have any time off? If so, what days? How many days? So that way, I want to make sure that my team don't overcommit. If they're accepting any work, I want to make sure whatever they're accepting is something that they're going to be able to deliver because they have the bandwidth, right? They got the time. They're going to be here. However, if they're not going to be here, I also want to know. So as we're planning, I want to make sure they're not overcommitting. They're not accepting work that they're not going to be able to do because they got some planned time off. So first thing you do is go over your capacity with your team during the planning meeting. Just go around the room, ask each person on the team if anyone has any time off. Sometimes I do this towards the end of my spring. I just maybe in my stand up, the as we're getting closer to the end of the spring, I just ask the team, guys, do you have any planned vacation coming up for the next 2 weeks for next spring? So that way I can better prepare for the planning meeting that's coming up. If you didn't get the chance to do that in your planning meeting, just go around the room and ask everyone if they have anything planned that they're not going to be here for the next 2 weeks. Let them tell you the days on how many days they're going to be out. So you already did your capacity. Now the next thing that you want to do is to go over your team velocity. Okay, velocity pretty much help guide you to help your team to know the amount of work, the amount of story points they should be committing during that sprint planning meeting. So it's good to calculate your team velocity so you know how much work your team can commit to during that meeting. So right now I'm going to go through Jira and show you guys how I calculate my velocity as we're preparing for our planning. So you come in Jira here. Right now we're on the backlog view. If you want to calculate your velocity, you have to be on the Jira report. So you click on report and then over here you see where it says velocity. You click on that and then you will see the velocity for your team. Now I just noticed something. So we're about to plan for a spring, but we have not closed our other spring that's ending. So what I need to do is to close out the other spring first so I can get an accurate velocity because when you're planning, you want to get velocity from for the past previous 3 sprints. Okay. So right now I want to close out this current sprint and then so that velocity can also add in my Jira report. So let's go back now to our Jira board again. So we're back in our backlog. This is our current sprint, sprint 14 that's ending. So we have 3 user stories in this sprint. Two are saying they're done, and there's one here that's still not done, right? The team did not complete this user story. They didn't get to work on this story for whatever reason, but the story is going to be probably carried over in the next spring. But I don't want to assume that. So I'll just ask my team members, this story that is still not yet started, and today is a, of course, sprint planning meeting. Is this story going to be carried over? Are you going to get it done today? What's going on? I just want to know if this story is going to be moved over to the next sprint. So normally I'll ask the person that the story is assigned to, and then they will tell me. So let's just say they said this story is not going to be worked on this spring. We're going to move it over to the next spring. What I'm going to do, I'll just go over here and click complete spring because I am closing out this spring because I want um this sprint velocity to be added so that way I can calculate the velocity for the past three sprint. So when I go here and click complete sprint, and then you will get, Jira tells you right here, two stories are completed. One is still open. This is the one that did not get worked, right? Where do you want to move it? So automatically it wants to move it to the next sprint, which is probably what your team wants, right? Move it to the next sprint. So you're gonna click complete, and this user story now get bumped now into the next sprint, which is I actually move it to the backlog. I don't know why it moved it to the well actually no it did. It moved into the next sprint. So the story got moved into the next sprint. So this is our next sprint that we want to plan for today, sprint 15. So what I'm gonna do right now, I will need to go back to my Jira report where I want to see my velocity, right? So we went back to our reports and we went to our velocity. Let me just refresh my screen so we can see Spring 14 showing that in our report. Perfect. You can see now Spring 14 now is showing that in our Jira report. So to calculate your velocity, you pretty much want to see the number of story point that was completed, that was delivered. So let me go over here. You see this gray line? This gray line kind of show you committed, right? This is what we committed. It's showing you right here. If you see under committed, it says 6 story points, and then all over completed is showing you 3 story points. So the green show you what we committed, the green shows you what we completed, the gray is represent what we committed, what the team committed for the spring, and the green is what they deliver, right? What was completed. So we want to get the velocity from the past previous three sprint to know how much work our team can deliver in the upcoming spring. So the past previous three spring is spring 14. The last three spring is spring 13 and spring 12. So if you see over here, spring 12, we committed about 4 story points and nothing got delivered, right? So all the story got rolled over into the next spring. Whatever reason, the team did not deliver any work. Of course, in a real environment, it's probably not going to be like this. There's going to be something that, got delivered. Again, anything could still happen. Maybe just nothing got delivered. So this other spring, this is what we committed, 17, and then they delivered 3. And the last spring that I just closed out, we committed 6 points and we delivered 3. So I'm going to get the number of the completed story points at the past 3 and divided by 3. So this one, we completed 3. You do 3 plus 3 got completed, and over here, also 3 got completed. So that's 6. And then over here, nothing got completed. So we're going to do 6 divided by 3. You're going to get 2 story points. Again, in a real work environment, you're probably going to get more than just 2 story points that completed, right? Because maybe your team is delivering more work. But the purpose of this video, we only have 6 story point that got completed for all these 3 sprints because we got 3 here. We got another 3 here, and we got 0 here. So we do the 3 plus 3 plus 0, we get 6, right? You divide them by 6, you divide them by 3, then the amount of story points you get, that's what your team is going to be delivering for the next spring, which is 2 story points. So let's go back to our Jira board and see what our team is going to be planning for this spring. So right now we know our velocity is only 2 story points. What I'm going to probably do is we'll go through this user story right now. Okay, we're going to go through all of this user story and plan for the ones that are high priority based on the velocity. So I will go ahead and ask my product owner at this point if there are any of the story that takes less priority over the other ones, right? Because we want to prioritize our sprint backlog. So this right here you see is considered a sprint backlog. The bottom part is continuing your product backlog. So this is a sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is only for that specific sprint that you're planning for. So right now we're planning for sprint 15, and this is our sprint backlog for sprint 15. So I'm going to call on my product owner at this point. We have 12 stories in a Spring backlog, but our velocity, of course, is showing us less than 12. Is there anything at this point that we can take out in the spring so we can only plan for what our team can deliver? So your product owner, for example, can tell you that take out all these stories, put them back in the next sprint, okay? So or just put them in the backlog. So we just drag it. You can just drag and drop and then in the backlog can just drag it and drop it in the backlog. Or if you also right click on this, it tells you where to move it to. You can put it on the top, it drops it there as well. So right now, we end up at 3 points. Okay, remember our velocity is only 2 points. So it's showing that this team can only complete two story points. Such a small team, right? Again, like I said, in a real work environment, you probably be delivering more than this. So right now, our velocity is only 2 points. Three is not bad. It's very close enough. So, but again, let's go through it and then see if this is going to be okay for the team. So this is the only story that we want to commit to based on our velocity right now, right? I will go ahead, even though it's 1 point over our velocity, but again, I want to hear from the developer if they'll be able to deliver this 3 point story. If not, we can ask the product owner to find something that's smaller, that's still adding a lot of value to the business. That's still a requirement or priority for the spring to maybe switch the story because this one is showing a little bit big. But if my developer is okay in delivering this 3 point story, even though our velocity says two, I think I'm okay because three is not too big from two, right? So they probably can be able to deliver. So if this is the only story that we're delivering for this spring, what I'm going to do right now, of course, we want to review each user story one by one to make sure that our team members understand the detail, right? We want to make sure they understand the descriptions really well, they understand the acceptance criteria really well, the story have been estimated, and they're ready to start the work, right? We want to make sure that our user story meets our definition of ready. So once our team member accept the story and we start at spring, we want to make sure that they are going to be able to complete this story as they accept this story. They're going to be able to deliver it. So now I'll go over this story. I'll just click it, and I usually like to open in a new tab just so people can actually see what's in this user story. So we have opened up the user story. I'll go ahead and ask my team members to kind of like read the description of the user story and go through it and then go over the acceptance criteria, and then now I'll go ahead and check the estimation to make sure the story point was there. Once I see that the story point is there, then I'll go ahead and ask the team member if they can accept the story. So I'll just ask who wants to work on this story. Whoever is going to be able to work on this story is going to tell me their name. Then I am going to go ahead and put their name, just put assign the user story to the person. Again, you're asking your team member who wants to work on the user story. You're not just assigning things to people. You are asking them who's going to work on this user story. Then they're going to verbally tell you. You're going to just go ahead and assign the name of the person that's going to work on the user story. Okay, so once you're done assigning the user story, and remember, in a real world, right, you probably have more user stories. Let's just assume that this is also another story your team. I'm just gonna move all this up here. Let's just assume that this is another user story that your team is going to work on, right? So you do the same thing. You just open this user story. If this was another story in your spring planning, you just open it again. And I usually, like I said, like to open it in a new tab so that way I can like see what my team, they can really see the user story descriptions really well. So I'll just open up the story again like this and ask them to go over the description, go over the acceptance criteria, and then if they're ready to accept the story, who's going to work on the story, you ask for the person's name. If you click on this where it says assignee, you should be able to assign the name of that person. The purpose of the planning is to make sure that your team understand the story, they understand the detail of the user story, they understand the acceptance criteria, the story is estimated, they're able to deliver the story if they accept the story in the sprint. So that's why we're having our sprint planning meeting. So once you're done, going through all the user stories that are assigned to your Jira in your Jira board, you're going to now you should be able to now start your spring. Remember, I just put this up here just to show you guys, right? But our velocity for this spring was only two story points, which is right now we're committing to three. It's not bad. It's okay. I'll ask my team if they're going to be able to deliver that 3-point story, even though I have velocities too. If they're telling me yes, they should be able to complete that, then of course I want to take their word, right? Once we're done with our planning, the next thing that I will do is usually I'll go ahead and start the spring. Actually, before I start the spring, there's something as I normally do. I usually just ask my team members to give me their vote of confidence. How confident are they with the work that they're accepting this spring? Again, it's just for me to be able to hold them accountable of what they're saying, right? You're saying you're gonna do this work, and it's almost the end of the spring. You are not halfway done. What's going on? Okay, so it's just for me to hold them accountable. So I just asked the team, in a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you guys with this user story that you're committing to right now? 5 being the highest, like 100%, we're gonna do our best to get everything done. One, of course, is the least, is the lowest. I don't want my team member to, of course, vote on one. It just means that our stories are not ready, but I want them to vote maybe 3 and above. Like, just give me some type of an assurance, like you'll do your best to deliver the stories that you guys are committing during the sprint planning meeting. Once I get that confidence, exactly, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's okay. That's something I just like to do myself. Again, as a scrum master, you figure out what works for you guys, all right? What works for your team? What works for you might not work for me. Again, it's just a way for me to hold my team accountable. Once that's done, we are done with our planning. We have assigned all the user story to all our team members. And I make sure that our velocity is okay. We did not take too much work from what our velocity is. Then I'll go ahead and you can click start. Sometimes I do this on the call. Sometimes they drop off. Then I go ahead and start the meeting. I'm sorry, and start the sprint. So to start the sprint, you just simply come in here and click start. One thing that I normally do, I ask my product owner to insert a sprint goal, to put a sprint goal. Um, it's really good to have a spring goal. It's just a summary, right, on what is in your current spring that you guys are starting on a high level. I asked my product owner, can you just write like a summary or a sentence or something on based on the user stories that we are accepting this spring? Can we have a spring goal? What is the goal? What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to deliver? What is the goal for this spring? Just write something in here. So our product owner will go ahead and put a spring goal. Sometimes he put the spring goal and just tell me that he starts the spring. Sometimes he put the spring goal and just ping me and say, hey, can you go ahead and start the spring? Then I'll go ahead and start the spring. Um, Spring, let's just say today's the day that the spring is starting and it's going to end in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today is the 17th, right? So it's going to end on the 17th. Um, because if your spring is starting on a Tuesday, it should end on a Monday, right? So if it starts on the 4th, which is today, it's gonna end on a Monday the 17th. So you just put the date. If you want to adjust the time to start at a certain time, maybe like to give them that exact 24 hours, you can go ahead and adjust that time. And then once your spring goes there, then of course you can now go ahead and click start. So when you click start, your work now comes to your stories now comes now to your workflow. So this is your team workflow. This is what they're going to be when you guys have your stand up the next day. This is the board that you guys are going to use it. This is how you're going to facilitate your stand up now. But that was it about spring planning meeting. I hope this video was very helpful to you. If you want to see this type of content, like I said, um, make sure you share this video. Share, and leave comments, and like this video. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys, and I'll be reading all your comments about this video. So thank you guys so much.